So, you're considering a job in trucking. This is Chad Edwards, founder of Elite ELDT. I appreciate your time and wish to share with you some advice that could increase your chance of success in the trucking industry. As you probably know, the trucking industry is desperate for new drivers. This is due in part to an extremely high turnover rate in the industry. In a recent meeting with a large carrier, the company's representative stated that they are currently experiencing a 130% turnover rate. That means they are losing more drivers than they are hiring. I believe one common reason for this turnover is new recruits find themselves in a job that is much different or more difficult than they expected. Therefore, I encourage you to talk to real drivers before you pursue a job in the trucking industry. Do not base your decision on advertisements created simply to attract drivers or strictly on what a recruiter tells you. Understand that it is difficult to land a job in trucking as a new driver that will allow you to be home daily or even frequently. The jobs that do offer that type of home time for new drivers usually involve a high level of physical work like loading and unloading freight several times per day. Most new truck drivers must put in some time as an over-the-road driver before they can be eligible for the more desirable jobs that pay better or allow more home time. Also, keep in mind the recruiter and dispatchers are not your friends. They are held accountable by the company and therefore will look out for the company's profits before your interests whenever they make decisions. As a future truck driver, you should understand that the pay may not be as good as you're told, the trucks may not be as new as promised, and you're probably not going to get home as much as you thought. That doesn't mean trucking companies are out to take advantage of you, but they will try to get the most work out of you for the least amount of pay. That's just what businesses do to be profitable and stay in business. Allow yourself to see the big picture and focus your efforts on your unique role. Take time to understand why things in this industry work the way they do and allow yourself to accept the good along with the bad. I suggest this because I've seen many truck drivers that are always upset and complain about everything. That level of stress is simply not good for one's blood pressure or mental well-being. If you learn to accept that certain challenges are part of this job and choose not to let those challenges beat you down, you will be much more capable of being happy and healthy as a truck driver. On a positive note, trucking companies can provide you with a well-paying career that includes decent benefits. Just realize that everyone starts at the bottom. Going into this with realistic expectations will allow you to be poised for success rather than succumbing to the curse of the misinformed truck driver and falling victim to the trucking industry's harsh realities. As mentioned earlier, talk to individuals who drive for the companies you're considering. They can give you a good idea of what the job is really like. Just be careful not to base your decision on YouTube videos that feature drivers who complain about everything. They might be complaining about things that are their own fault, or they might be complaining because the job is just not what they thought. Either way, their disappointment could have been avoided if they had received the advice I'm giving you. What is it that attracts you to this line of work? Upon your investigation, find out if those ideas of yours are accurate or if they're misconceptions. Trucking companies want outsiders to think they can hop in the driver's seat and make big bucks in no time at all. However, depending on the company, a new driver's first-year pay may hardly exceed the $40,000 mark. It is possible to surpass the $50,000 mark if you've chosen a solid company. But I'd say it's difficult for a first-year driver to make over $60,000 unless they are hauling hazardous materials or performing a lot of the loading and unloading themselves. Before you give a career in the trucking industry the green light, evaluate the needs and desires of yourself and your family. Be sure both you and they have a realistic idea of what you're actually getting involved in. Make sure you know the cost and time frame of the training and transition period. By transition period, I mean the time it takes to get you from where you are now to where you'll be employed as a truck driver and earning a paycheck. This period will always take longer than expected. A friend of mine who already had a Class B CDL and years of commercial driving experience quit his job so he could attend a 3-week truck driving school. I'm sure he figured he'd be working a new job in about a month. But guess what? It took him 5 months to get a CDL. So altogether, I bet he went about 6 months without a paycheck. Hopefully, it won't take you that long, but it does take time to learn the skills needed to pass the CDL test and then go on to complete new driver training with a company. Be prepared financially for this transition period. Calculate how much money you will need for bills between now and when you will receive a paycheck. Figure out when you will get paid and how much exactly it will be. Get all these details in writing, and if it isn't in writing, ask for it. If they don't put it in writing, don't rely on it being true. Also, understand that you will be responsible for some of the costs associated with training and transitioning, but beware, this amount is difficult to calculate. Even if you're attending company-sponsored training, you may be responsible for the cost of travel, meals, hotel, etc. Again, be sure you get all these details in writing and have a way to pay for unforeseen expenses. I hope this advice helps you make an educated decision when it comes to pursuing a new career in the trucking industry. I'm reminded of the George Jones song, "Who's Gonna Fill Their Shoes?" whenever I contemplate the current driver shortage facing the transportation industry. Maybe you have the traits and desire to stand tall and serve this industry well. You know, people don't become truck drivers because the job is fun. They do it to make a living. However, it's very important to find happiness and have fun doing whatever it is you do to make your living. As for myself and all of us at Elite ELDT, we wish you the very best on your journey in this challenging and exciting industry. Please like and share this video with someone you think would benefit from it. Until next time, take care, drive safely, become your own success story. Thanks for watching.